You're listening to Black Cat Football and Greer Time Media. Let's take it to the booth with your host, Freddie Greer Sr.
Welcome everyone to the final district matchup game between the Mexia Black Cats and the Canton Eagles. We're here at Eagle Field tonight as the Mexia Black Cats are trying to go undefeated in district and get ready for the playoffs. The teams are getting ready to come out on the field. Canton is just now running out through the tunnels, and Mexia's coming out of the locker room now, and they'll be coming out on the field here shortly. We'd like to welcome everybody to the Mexia Black Cat football game, brought to you by the Mexia Sports Network, brought by Freddie Greer Media. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors this year who have graciously continued to sponsor us and back this network to be able to bring the game to you on YouTube if you're not able to make it here tonight. Tonight we have a pretty good crowd back in Mexia for their final district game tonight. Both crowds are pretty full tonight for this football game, with the COVID-19 pandemic going on right now. Sometimes the crowd's a little low, but tonight we got a pretty good crowd back in the Black Cats. The refs are out on the field waiting for the Black Cats to come out so we can have the captains meet at the middle of the field for the coin toss.
Also, James, while you're at it, I'm going to go ahead. I want to go ahead and say thank you to my sponsors. I also want to say thank you to Forest Glades Baptist Church, Joe Fridays, Simpson Firework, Elizabeth C. Ferris Real Estate, and Heritage Real Estate. And I also want to say thank you to Photo Trapping, and Mexia Insurance Services.
And don't forget Big Drip Clothing. We want to thank y'all very much, because without y'all, we couldn't keep this rolling and make this available for y'all. We would like to thank Freddie Greer and Greer Time Media for stepping up and allowing you to be able to watch this, Freddie. Without you taking that extra step and producing this, it would not be possible. So thank you very much. Also, here in a minute, my partner in crime, Wallace High, will be joining us as he's kind of finishing up his little pregame snack. But we're getting ready to meet at the field with the captains. Now we have number 14, Braden Hawkins.
And number 34, Cale Shaw.
34, Cale Shaw. And I didn't catch 41's name. Y'all hold on just a second. I think I got my roster in my bag. There we go. I'm sorry. And number 3, Christian Clark from Mexia. It's going to be a very exciting football game. Wallace, what do you think?
Yeah, going into the game, we talked about last week the Black Cats having moved into the top seed of the district and locked up that number 1 seed, but now they're playing for an outright district championship. Canton's still playing for seeding for the playoffs. And if you were here, not many were here earlier, and unfortunately we didn't have our cameras and stuff up and running. But when the two teams came out in pregame to warm up, they met at midfield, and there was some jousting and some talk back and forth, to the point where the officials had to come out and get between them and send both teams back to their ends of the field.
The one time that I don't show up early.
So as we prepare for the game to start, we're going to take a moment and we're going to observe the nation as we get the playing of the national anthem by the Canton Band. All right, and we're set for some Black Hat football tonight here in Canton, Texas, as the Black Hats will be facing the Canton Eagles. James, we talked about how we're expecting a good matchup tonight, and we'll get to see Mexia as they send out, I believe it'll be their kick return unit first, and Canton will be kicking to Mexia. They'll be kicking from right to left. So, barring a big play in the kicking game, we'll get to see the Mexia offense on the field first, and it'll be a little different from normal, but it'll kind of look like it did at the end of last game, as we won't have Lamarian Miller under center tonight, as he is on the sideline, but he won't be playing tonight as he is still recovering from that injury he received on last week.
Yeah, if y'all weren't here last week or able to watch it on Greer Time Media, Lamar Miller he went for a pass and fell down, and he got a stinger, I believe it was. And it's good that Mexia's already got the top seed in district play where you can rest your quarterback. But Wallace, you're right. I don't know where those thick boys were hiding at a while ago, but they've got some thick boys over there.
Yeah, that was one of the things we heard all week, that they were going to be big. And we look at the kick team from Canton, it looks like they're going to start off in formation for a possible onside kick, as Mexia looks like they line up to take it over. It's going to be high and deep to Holdman. He takes the catch in, and he moves the ball over to his right. He sees a hole. Now he hits it, and now he's running, and he's at one man to beat. He spins, and he's still pushing forward. He's going to be run out of bounds. He returns that ball all the way across midfield and up to about the 41-yard line of the Eagles. So Mexia will start with good field position after the return by Trey Holman.
Yeah, the one thing that made that positive there, Wallace, was when Trey started running, he took his time and let his blockers get that containment over there on the right side and open up that gaping hole for him to run through.
So it will be Holman under center tonight. Looks like Sunday and Wiley in the backfield. Snap, we got a flag down. Looks like it's going to be a free play as Wiley, he's chopped down as he comes around the right edge. Looks like a gain of about 3 or 4 for Wiley, but we'll see what the penalty flag was.
Yeah, Wiley was about to break it there, Wallace, but number 14 for the Eagles. I'm trying to pull it up. My phone's acting weird. That's Braden Hawkins.
And it is going to be an offside penalty against the Eagles. So Mexia will accept. They'll take the 5-yard penalty there, and it'll remain first down. It'll be 1st and 5 now for the Black Cats from the Canton 36-yard line.
Yeah.
And there'll be a run around the right edge. And that time it was Holman keeping it. And he's going to pick up about 2 yards on it. He's going to bring up second and about 2.5 here for the Black Cats.
Yeah, going back to that previous play, Wallace, Wiley, he just about broke loose, but Hawkins, number 14 for the Eagles, a free play, so, it really didn't matter if you gained yards or not, but Wiley almost broke that first run for a touchdown.
Snap back to Holman. He hands off. It's going to be Sunday. He's around the left side, and he's out in the open, and B.J. Sunday's up the left sideline. He's going to be drugged down inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
And it's going to be marked down about the 9, and we have some injured players for Canton back behind the play. As that time it was a little mixed direction in that handoff underneath to Sunday. He was able to stay behind his blockers and find a crease, and then he got out the left side, and he was off to the races until that safety was able to drag him down.
Yeah, the good thing about BJ there, is he's a little shorter than what his linemen are, and the left side of the line did a great job of concealing that outside and allowing BJ to run through. But
so while they tend to the injured player, we're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back once they have taken care of the young student athlete. All right, as we come back to play, that was number 6, Trey Collard for the Eagles, who was down on the ground. He was able to get up and walk off under his own power, so we're going to hope that young man is okay, as we don't ever want to see any of the young athletes be injured. It'll be Holman under center, snap back, hand off to Wiley up the middle, and he's going to be stacked up right at the exchange. There's going to be no gain there on first and goal for the Black Cats. It'll become second and goal from the 9.
Yeah, Wiley tried to run up the middle, but number 52, Coach Shepard for the Eagles, was there to help stuff that middle where Wiley couldn't get through. So that's one thing we need to keep an eye on. Wallace is that left side. You know, they've got some pretty stout athletes out there. We're going to see how the line can contain that the rest of the game.
Holman under center, snap back. He's going to give it this time underneath, and it's going to be Wiley, and he just bulls his way through and into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, I thought they had Wiley stop there at the line of scrimmage for a minute, but
he gave a little stiff arm and a shove and threw a shoulder at somebody, and then next thing you know, he was high stepping into the end zone.
Yeah, and that's one thing about Wiley. He's got those strong legs, and he runs like a man. And you better hope that you're not in his way whenever he lines up and puts a helmet on you.
And so Mahale will run out the field goal unit as they'll get set to kick the extra point. It'll be Sunday on the hole. Martinez on the kick, ball down. It's going to be up, and Martinez drives it through, and that was a great job by Sunday of getting that ball off the turf and getting it set for him. So with 10:14 on the clock, Mahale takes the early lead 7-0 after a Wiley touchdown and Martinez extra point. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Black Cat football. All right, as we come back to Eagle Field, Mahale on top of Canton, 7-0 here early in the first quarter. 10:14 left on the clock. It'll be Martinez set to kick, along with
Set the kick for the Cats.
number 30,
Gustavo Martinez. Back to receive for the Eagles. Number 41, Christopher Kay.
33. So we'll wait to see who's gonna do the kicking for Mahale on this one, as the coverage team spreads out. Looks like Canton has a couple back deep to receive the kick, and it will be Martinez as he puts it high. It's going to be caught around the 21-yard line. Now it's bobbled and fumbled inside the 20, and there's some Black Cats there. He's going to reverse field. He's got a little running room, and he's going to be run out of bounds out across the 30 around the 33-yard line.
And that was number 12, Jabraylon Pickens for the Eagles, who picked the ball up. And you know, I thought Mahale had him stopped short back there about the 20, but Pickles was able to break through, and he's got some long legs.
Yeah, he's a tall kid. He'll be playing receiver tonight. But he made a good effort on picking up some positive yardage after that ball was bobbled. So we'll come out, and it'll be Prox in the backfield. I can't see the tailback number. Oh, and there's a bad snap over the head. And he's going to have and there's going to be Jawan Wright who runs down, and he hits the quarterback as soon as he picks up the errant snap, and he's going to be taken back deep to about the Canton 11-yard line. So that's going to be a big loss on that play. It's going to be a loss of about 22 yards after the bad snap.
Yeah, that quarterback didn't have a single chance of catching that snap. I mean, it was probably about 5 feet over his head. And I'll tell you what, Jawan Wright, he's picking up where he left off last week.
Right, you know. And it's going to be a snap back to Prox. He's going to look to throw. He pulls it down, and now he's going to be chased by the Black Cats, and they're going to bring him down. And that's going to be Jabrine Busby there as he's able to get to Prox and bring him down for the loss of yards sack on that. And that's good job on the back end by the Mahale secondary of not giving him a place to throw the ball.
Yeah, Sandals, he had the initial chase on the quarterback and made him break to the outside and allowed Busby to catch up with him.
Snap back. And it's going to be a handoff around the right side. It's going to be good yardage that time. I believe that's number 4. No, number 41. I apologize. As he's able to take it around the right side for a gain of about 10.
Is that Jacob Elliott?
I think it's Chris Cade.
Oh, okay.
Number 41.
My picture's so messed up over here.
And now it looks like Canton's going to send out their punt team as they have a man back deep, and it will be Mexia. Looks like it'll be Holman back deep to return the punt for Mexia. Punt's away, and it's going to be a low line drive and straight out of bounds. And then there's going to be some
little bit of extracurricular activities back there by the line of scrimmage, but no flag was thrown.
And that ball is going to be marked out at the 43. So Mexia again will start with the ball in plus territory, as they've had good field position on both of their two early drives.
I can tell you this, Wallace. You know, when I was running the chains the past couple of years, I loved it whenever the ball changed possessions, and I hardly had to move the chains because running up and down that field all night long, I'm not a little boy. And I get tired, but I used to love it when we didn't have to hardly move those chains.
So Mexia come out in their tight formation, Holman under center, snap back. It was going to be a pitch to Clark. He's going to be hit right around the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to pick up about 1 or 2 on that run.
Yeah, that looked like number 24. Should have worn my glasses tonight.
Yeah, Lopez, I believe that's who that was. As Clark was trying to be patient and set up the block, but just before he could hit the hole, somebody came from that backside and wrapped him up.
And one thing that kind of threw that off a little bit is when Trey pitched the ball out to Clark, the ball was a little high, and Clark had to reach up and grab it. He couldn't really take it in stride. But we're going to have another free play.
And this is going to be a run by Wiley that's going to not get much yardage, but it looks like we're going to get another offsides penalty against the Eagles. We'll wait for the call.
Offsides defense, number 6, 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
So they're going to call that on Trey Collard, but it also looked like number 51, Jacob Elliott, was another defender that jumped off at the same time. But Mexia got 5 yards and a free play and saved the down, so we got 3rd down and about 4.
It should be. Should it be 3rd down or?
It should be second down.
Yeah, it should be 2nd down, not 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay, and there it is. It's changed back now. As it'll be a snap back to Holman. He hands to Wiley. He bounces outside, cuts back, and now he moves upfield, and he's going to be.
Be tackled by number 21.
Yeah, as
Cam Shaw.
An Eagle defender was able to get into the backfield early there and kind of disrupt that. And Wiley was able to just kind of bounce around and hop and then shoot forward for a gain of 2. It's going to make it 3rd and 1 here.
And that's the thing about Wiley is whenever he gets tackled, he's usually falling forward.
Snap back to Holman. He throws on a reverse. It's going to be Christian Clark around the left side. He stiff arms a man, and he's off to the races. He's into the end zone as he takes it in for the touchdown.
And there was only one defender on that side that had a chance to catch Christian.
It seems like the whole Canton defense keyed on Wiley on that play, and everybody went, and Holman did a great job of selling that fake and then pulling it out and pitching it to Clark coming around. And once Clark had the ball, he only had to beat one man, and he just put his arm out and shoved him to the ground, and then he was walking into the end zone.
Yeah, like you said, it looked like both sides of that defense, they stunted in, focusing on Wiley, and that just opened the outside wide up.
Be snapped back, ball's down. Martinez's kick is up, and it is good. As Mexia quickly takes a 14-0 lead with 6:34 left in the first quarter. You know, they've had 2 great opening drives. As they get ready to switch fields and we get ready for the kickoff, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Black Cat football.
Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, if you've strayed away and are lost, if you need a church to call home and family, please don't put it off any longer. Your next breath is never promised. Visit Pastor James Deichler at Forest Glade Baptist Church, 4277 North Highway 14 in Mexia. He preaches straight from the Bible and never waters down the gospel. Church services are Sunday mornings starting at 10:45 a.m. A church that strives to advance the kingdom of God. Come be a part of this family.
Right as he got the ball, at that time it looked like Canton was able to shoot the gaps and shoot right into the gap that Wiley was going into.
That's one thing about the Eagle defense tonight, Wallace, is so far you're really not getting anything up the middle on this defense. They're pretty sturdy and thick up front, and the line's just not getting that initial double team push that they need to open up that middle. But, like I said, it's early in the game, and maybe our offensive line can kind of tire them down and start opening that middle up for our running backs.
So it'll be Holman set back to take the snap. There's going to be early movement, as that's going to go against an offensive lineman, and that's going to move Mexia back 5 more yards to make it. It's going to make it 3rd and 14 here for the Black Cats.
Yeah, that was Jonathan Hernandez. I guess just a little bit of confusion early in the football game for the Mexia Black Cats offense. So they're usually good at working to straighten that up as the game continues on.
Yeah, that's 2 early penalties there, and you can get that cleaned up. It'll be Holman under center now. Snap back. Holman on the option, and he's going to be taken down right as he gets to the end of the line.
Number 2, Trey Holman, the ball carrier for the Cats.
Looks like number 51.
It's going to bring up 4th down. And so Mexia will bring out the punt unit for the first time tonight with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Still leading 14-0. It'll be Andrew Sunday on to punt.
And that was a 51, Elliott for the Eagles, who was able to has been posted for that. As we know, Golson did forfeit to Abbott, so Abbott took that win 2-0. We've got, let's see. Sorry, y'all, kind of buffering here a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
we got
band would like you to help
Resold forfeited to Buffalo tonight, so Buffalo gets that win 2-0.
The combined bands will now perform
Let's see.
the Rolling Stones classic, Paint It Black.
We've got Mildred and Scurry Rosser Wildcats. Scurry Rosser's winning that one 32-7 in the second quarter. Blooming Grove is over Rice right now, 25-0. Maypearl and West, they've got a great matchup going over there in Maypearl, with Maypearl leading at halftime, 14-13. The number 1 Argyle Eagles are over the number 7 Parish Wildcats at halftime, 21-7. We've got Mineola over Commerce Tigers right now in the second quarter. Mineola's winning that one 21-0. In our district here, we've got Van playing Brownsboro, and Van is winning that one right now in the second quarter, 21-7. We've got a great matchup over there in Gilmer at halftime. Pleasant Grove Hawks are over Gilmer Buckeyes right now, 21-7. The Athens Hornets are over the Maybank Panthers at halftime, 17-0. Got a great matchup going up there up Highway 84 over there in Tig, where the Tig Lions are leading the Fairfield Eagles 14-0. Great matchup going on in Longview as the number 2 Highland Park Scots are over the number 7 Longview Lobos at halftime, 9-3. That's a close one there. Let's see. We got the Corsicana Tigers, who are down to Sulphur Springs right now, 21-7 at halftime. The number 1 team in 5A, number 1 Ennis Lions, are over Crandall Pirates right now, 41-3 at halftime. Rockwall Hawks are winning against the North Mesquite Stallions, 48-0. We've got Kilgore, who is down right now at halftime to the Lindale Eagles, 28-24. You got the Forney Jackrabbits, who are down to the Royce City Bulldogs right now at halftime. Royce City's winning that one, 42-3. The Waco High Lions are down at halftime to the Mansfield Tigers, and Mansfield's over them 21-13. Waxahachie Indians are winning at halftime right now against Lake Ridge Eagles, 24-7. A great matchup over there at Cedar Hill. The Cedar Hill Longhorns in the second quarter are winning against the number 6 team, DeSoto Eagles, and the Longhorns are up 28-0. And we'll go with some scores that happened on the 2nd, November 2nd this week, as La Vega beat Brownwood 62-6. Eustis lost to the number 4 team, Maxville. Dude, I've lost my tongue. Malakoff. They lost to Malakoff 62-0. That was on the 5th. And that's about all the scores I have right now at halftime. We do have about 4 minutes left to go before kickoff of the second half, so we'll take a quick break with our sponsors here with Mexia Sports Network at Eagle Field, as the Mexia Black Cats are at halftime leading over the Eagles 14-10. And we will be back with you with the second half kickoff here in just a few minutes.
All right, and we're back here for second half action from Eagle Field in Canton, Texas. The Mexia Black Cats leading the Canton Eagles 14-10. You know, looking out, the Mexia's going to be kicking off to Canton to start the second half. You'll have Martinez and Suarez to set the ball and mark it off. Looks like Canton has Pickens and Cade back deep to return the ball for them. And so as we get the opening whistle, the coverage team from Mexia will fan out. The kickers get set. And it'll be Martinez kicking it deep this time. It'll be hauled in by Pickens around the 10-yard line, and he'll bring it up the field. He's going to be swarmed there and brought down right at the 30. They're going to move it out to about the 31-yard line.
I think the important thing for the Black Cats this second half, Wallace, is, you know, Perkins, he's going to get his catches here and there. But I think it's very imperative and imperative that the Black Cats find a way to stop number 41, Cade, for the Eagles. He's got, 15 carries for 91 yards so far.
Yeah, he's
in the first half, and he's been the go-to guy for the Eagles.
Right, and Mexia's done a fairly good job there in their pass defense. And right now, you're going to look to stop it as Canton comes out first on offense. Snap back to Prox. He's going to hand off to Cade, and he's going to be met there by a host of Black Cats. He's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be no gain there on that play, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, that's a great job not letting Cade get started here in the second half. You know, that outside pursuit for the Mexia Black Cats defense, you know, it's hard to get around because they've got great speed out there.
Yeah, and that time they held the edge and contained very well. Here we get Prox in the gun again. Cade behind him, snap back. He's going to keep it. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to look to throw. Oh, and that ball's almost intercepted as Xavier Molina broke underneath the receiver and got his hands on it. He wasn't able to bring it in, but he knocks it out of bounds and incomplete to bring up 3rd and 10 here for the Black Cats against the Canton offense.
Yeah, as the quarterback rolled out, you saw Molina. He had eyes on the quarterback the whole time, and the problem with the quarterback is he never took his eyes off the initial receiver. And Molina actually played that ball a lot better than the receiver did.
Right, yeah. He broke down. He cut in front of the receiver and got to it first. As you'll have Prox in the backfield. He snaps back. He rolls out to his left. And there's going to be some holding there. And there's going to be – the pass is going to be caught by Canton. But there was an edge rusher tackled. And, you know, you can't expect it. You can't anticipate it because they have not thrown that flag much tonight at all.
Yeah, but whenever the defender gets thrown to the ground, I mean, it's obvious.
It's going to be a snap back to Prox. He's going to hand off to Cade, who's going to be met right at the line of scrimmage, and then he's going to be driven back and tackled.
Now, I
that
think
looks like Jabrian Busby was the first one to get there.
Yeah, and Jacob Adams was the initial person to get to Cade on that play, but you can see a little bit of the frustration from the defense right now as, you know, they're doing what they're supposed to do.
There's going to be Prox with the Cade to his left, twin receivers to each side. Now Cade moves to the right, snap back. It's going to be a quick pass across the middle of number 12. He catches it, and then he's corralled by the Black Cats and driven down. It looks like he's going to move across midfield down to about the 48-yard line, and that's going to be just short of a first down, looks like.
Yeah, it looks like probably about half a yard there,
Wallace. It's going to bring up third and 1 here for the Eagles. And right now, you know, with less than 1 yard, you can probably assume they might hand this ball to Cade and try to get him a yard. You know, if Mexia can get some push up front and get to the backfield, they could get a big stop here. Snap back. It's going to be a handoff to Cade, and he just explodes forward and picks up the first down and more as the ball will be marked down about the Mexia 42-yard line.
Yeah, Cade, he got through that line of scrimmage, and the Eagles' offensive line got a great push that time on the Black Cats, and Cade wasn't touching it. He was about 5 yards down the field.
So we'll bring up 1st and 10 for Canton. Prox takes the snap. He's going to hand off to Cade around the left side this time, and he's going to get some positive yardage before he's brought down. It's going to be a gain of about 5 on that.
Yeah, that was a great play by number 71 from the Eagles, the left tackle. Was that 71? It's 71, but I don't have him on the roster here.
I think it's 77.
77.
Yeah.
Preston Yarber had a great block there on the outside.
It trips to the top, single receiver down low. It's going to be a quick option pitch. And Cade takes it. He splits defenders. And he's able to pick up a first down and move the ball inside the 25-yard line before he's tackled. As that time it looked like Mexia had him surrounded, and right as they went to tackle him, he just got skinny and slipped through and picked up about another 8 yards for that first down.
Yeah, what got that started, though, is it looked like Christian Clark came in into the backfield, and he went for the quarterback, and as soon as he did, the quarterback kind of just optioned out to Cade to allow him to get that first down.
Be snapped back, handoff to Cade. Oh, no, it's pulled by Prox, and he's around the right side, and then he's pulled down there by Coleman.
Jason Brisboe with the quarterback keeper.
That was a great job by the quarterback. If he would have handed that ball off.
And I apologize. I believe that was Brisboe that time instead of Prox. And now Prox back in the backfield at quarterback. Snap back. He looks to his left. He throws, and that ball's down behind the receiver and on the ground falls incomplete.
Yeah, whenever a quarterback released the ball there, Wallace, he just released it way too low and didn't give his receiver a chance to catch the ball. But the Black Cats secondary had great coverage.
And that's going to bring up 3rd and 5 here.
Let's see what the Black Cats can do on 3rd down, see if we can get a stop and force another field goal.
This would be a good point to get a stop with the ball at the 18-yard line. Looking back, it'll be snap back. He's going to roll out, and then there's a Black Cat there to give him chase, and he gets outside of him, and that ball's going to be incomplete. As it was Xavier Molina came in off the edge, and he just took his route was a little too far inside, and it allowed the quarterback to spin out around, and then he was given chase, but the pressure that he gave forced the quarterback to throw it early, and he wasn't able to connect with the receiver. Yeah, that'll bring the kicker out for a field goal attempt.
But it looked like if the quarterback would have kept and ran, he probably had a better chance of picking up at least close to the first down, because like you said, he was forced to release that ball a lot earlier than what he planned.
And so we'll have Canton on set to kick a 35-yard field goal. Snaps back, and that ball's up, and it's coming down, and it's going to be short, and it's going to be no good as the Black Cat defense is able to hold on that drive. The Black Cat offense will get the ball back on downs, and they'll take over for their first drive of the half, And it's good, even though Canton was able to move the ball and get down deep, and Mexia was able to stop them when they needed to as they got closer, and then with the missed field goal, they don't get any points on that drive.
Yeah, and that's number 37, Nathan Goodson, who is the kicker for the Eagles. Wallace, and it looks like when he's kicking towards the scoreboard, it's like he can't get enough leg on it, but if he's kicking.
Snap back to Holman, he hands it off, and it's going to be Wiley pushing across the pile, a gain of about 2 or 3 on that run.
But like I was saying, on the other end, the kicker looks like he's just booming it.
And I'm looking at the flags, and they're not moving, so it's not a wind issue.
I don't know if it's maybe the lights might be blinding him a little bit from the scoreboard.
He's left 2 now short on this end. But Mexia moves back up to the line of scrimmage. Holman under center. Man in motion, snap back. Holman's going to keep around the right edge. Oh, and he's going to be upended as he crosses the 25 and out to about the 27-yard line.
It started to kind of look like a busted play there for a second, but, Trey did a great job of carrying it out and picking up an initial 4 yards to make it a 3rd and 3 here to go with 6:40 left in the third quarter. Let's see if the Black Cats can convert on this 3rd down.
So as they get the play in, again, they're in, it's a manageable 3rd down, and that's where you want to be. And so Mexia now in their tight formation will be Holman under center, snap back, Handoff to Clark around the side, and he's off. He's up the sideline, and he's running. Ken's giving chase to 20, the 10, 5, touchdown, Christian Clark.
That was a great job by Jarrell Wiley there,
yeah.
A good running back. He just don't always gain the yards and score the touchdowns, but gives the great blocks on the end, and thanks to Jarrell Wiley, Frankie Smith ran that thing for about 70 yards.
Well, that was Christian on the run. It looked like Jarrell got a good kick out, and then big Caden Grayson came around pulling from that line spot and cleared out the way, and as soon as he cleared it out, Clark was able to hit a seam up the sideline and show that speed that he has, and it was just a track meet to the end zone, and nobody from Canton could catch him. And that's the second touchdown for Christian Clark on the ground tonight. And being able to see him get into the action running the ball, which we haven't seen much this year, that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a great sign because, when you have that multitude of running backs in that backfield, the defense, they have to prepare for different styles of running because what happened?
Nothing.
Oh, because Jarrell, he's the hammerhead. He's gonna knock you out. Christian Clark, he's the one. He's gonna sit there and simply follow his blockers and break it out on the outside. And you got Trey, the quarterback right now. Whenever Miller hopefully comes back next week, he's another threat in the backfield, and he's just a north to south runner. So it's great to have that multitude of running backs in your backfield because it's nothing but a great advancement for you in the future in the playoffs.
And so here we have the kickers, Martinez and Suarez, again set to kick off after Mahale was able to get a big play from Clark and get in the end zone to increase their lead to 21-10 with 6:10 left in the third quarter. And it'll be Martinez who puts it down deep down the field, a good kick, taken in at the 9 by Pickens, and he's going to return it, and he gets a seam, and he's going to run forward, and then he's upended right at midfield.
And we had a hold there at about the 35-yard line.
We have not seen a flags thrown on that, and that time you had a coverage man fly down the field, and the blocker just wrapped him up and body slammed him on the ground.
I mean, I don't know what else the refs need to see or what they're looking for, but when you see somebody slung down to the ground, it's not because they tripped over their shoestrings, you know.
Yeah, and that was some of the cover guys that were getting down there first, and they just wiped them out with tackles against them, and it didn't please the Mexia fans or the Mexia coaching staff. But again, there were no flags thrown on the play, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line for Canton. Twins to each side, snap back to Prokes. He's going to look. He throws across, caught by Pickens, and he's going to be tackled at the 45.
I don't know. Wallace.
They're going to move it up to the 44-yard line.
But Pickens did a great job of reaching back and catching that pass.
Yeah, it's going to be we're going to say 6 yards now. And he'll take the ball up. It'll be 2nd and 4 here for the Eagles. Snap back, quarterback looks, he's going to be given, and then the running back is met right as he gets it, and he's driven back.
Yeah, Daniels, he's a force to be reckoned with on that line. He busted through, and once again he got to the running back as it was being handed off, and Cade had no chance to advance it forward whatsoever.
No. And it'll be 3rd and 8 here. And, after a decent first down play, you find yourself 3rd and long, and now you expect for them to try to run it, and now Mexia gets to send those speed rushers off as Canton rolls to the right. He's looking to throw. He throws back across his body, and it's intercepted. And that's going to be Will Coleman on the interception, and he's returning it up the field. Oh, and the ball comes loose. And it looks like Canton's going to recovers on the fumble. As Coleman intercepted the pass and then had a good return going, and the ball was stripped away from him, so Canton will take over, and they'll essentially just provide them a first down.
At the just almost the same spot.
Exact same spot. You're right.
But, you know, Wallace.
But, you know, if you're Coleman, you keep your head up because you just seen that you got it. You don't want to hang your head and allow them to do it.
You know, the Black Cats.
That's going to bring out the punt unit.
They're playing those 3 down linemen on the line. But the thing about it is those 5-6 guys for the Eagles on the offensive line, they have no answer for the rush from the Black Cats. And just like last week, they're in the second half, they're continuing to dominate the line of scrimmage in the second half.
You know, and there you don't have – and you can keep your head up because even after the fumble on the interception, you don't give up anything as, again, they'll punt the ball away from – oh, and Holman goes and gets it, and then he goes out of bounds with it. He does save some field position on that as they're still trying to kick away from Holman and not kick to him on those punts.
That's a smart play by the Eagles. But, you know, like you said, Wallace, you know, the defense, they're playing great. They're keeping their responsibilities. They're playing great coverage tonight. I think their secondary is just game after game after game is just looking so more confined and together and are reading the passes and the patterns. Mejia's defense all around is just coming together.
Yeah, and they look good, you know, even being able to keep your composure. Handoff this time, it's going to be Wiley around the right side, and then he's going to be met by about 3 defenders. But he picks up about a yard, about 2 yards on that run.
Yeah, it looked like number 34, Kyle Shaw, was on the tackle, and number 24 for the Eagles as well, Ron Robles. You know, taking nothing away from the Eagles' defense as well, you know.
Handoff, and that looks like it's going to be Busby on the carry that time as he pushes forward for about a yard.
Handoff goes number 7, Jabrian Busby.
Are they going to say no gain on that one? It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Number 81, Josh Riddle, and number 4.
You know, last time we was down here at Wallace, you know, it was a more manageable 3rd down, and that's when Christian broke it for the touchdown. But let's see if the Black Cats can at least push it closer towards the 1st down, if not pick it up, to try to give their punter a little bit more space back there by the end zone.
You know, we're seeing the rotation of some players now by Mexia, getting some of those other guys in and resting some guys.
Yep.
As the play clock begins to run down, we're going to get a timeout here from Mexia. As there was looks like maybe some confusion with personnel and then getting the play in. So as they take a timeout, Mexia on top of Canton, 21-10 with 1:04 left in the 3rd quarter. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more 3rd quarter action. Their own 35-yard line.
You know, last week, Wallace, against Butler, you know, we made the comment that sometimes it's not always the score that you're trying to win. Sometimes you're trying to win the field position, and Mexia now has basically turned that back around with that great punt by Young Sunday there. His last couple of punts have actually looked pretty good, and he's averaged probably close to about 40 yards on each of those punts.
And here you'll have Mejia's defense back out. It'll be Prux in the backfield with Cade next to him. It's going to be a handoff, and Cade comes out around the edge, and it's going to be holding, and looks like we're going to finally get it as that looks like Sandals and Frankie Smith were over here to usher Cade out of bounds over on the Mexia. Yeah, and that time he just wrapped his arms around Frankie Smith and wouldn't let him go to try to make the tackle.
I mean, I understand that we're supposed to be teaching brotherly love here, but you know, you can't be holding and hugging and grabbing on the field. That is a penalty.
And so that'll back Canton up after that run, and it'll make it a 1st and 10 again. It's just a little farther back than 10. Snap back to Prox. He rolls to his right. There's going to be – and he's going to look to throw, and that ball's going to be knocked away last second by Will Coleman, so it'll fall incomplete. And that'll bring up second down here as we've come to the end of the third quarter as the clock ran out during that play. The end of the third quarter, Mexia leading 21-10 over the Canton Eagles. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with fourth quarter action for the Mexia Black Cats. All right, and we're back here at Eagle Field, and if you're joining in with us again, we want to apologize for the interruptions in our feed as we are experiencing difficulties with the Wi-Fi, internet, and cell service out in this area. Snap back to Prox. He looks over to his left. He throws. It's going to be caught there by Pickens, and he's going to be met as soon as he catches it and catches the ball and brought down there. And that's going to be Frankie Smith on the tackle. And that was a great job by Smith of being able to bring the receiver down and keep him away from the first down marker. It'll bring up third and about 3 here for the Eagles.
Yeah, Frankie's playing probably about a good 5 yards off of Perkins over there. But the thing about Smith is he's got great closing speed, and he's not allowing Perkins to get loose in the middle of the field or on the outside to run it for a touchdown. So that's a great job by your corners over there for the Black Cats.
So it'll bring up third and 3. We got trips to the bottom, single receiver up top. Man in the backfield is going to be a pass, and it's going to be deflected at the line, and that was Jawan Wright who was able to get his hands up and knock that ball down as Prox went to throw.
You know, as Jawan was trying to go through, you know, you're taught that if he can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. And Jawan did a great job of making sure that pass didn't get completed. You know, this defense, they're playing a great second half. They really haven't allowed much for the Eagles offense. And now we got another punt, and let's see if they're going to punt to Trey or at least kick it away like they've been doing all night.
If I'm Trey, I'm expecting for this ball to go away, and usually it's been over here towards the punter's right. And this one's actually going to stay more in the middle as it takes a Canton bounce and roll. But, again, it was away from him and not to where he could catch it and try to return it. So Mexia will take over now with the ball on their own 21-yard line. And we'll see if Mexia can get a drive going here on with their offense and push the ball down the field.
Yeah, and what you want to do here, Wallace, in the fourth quarter, being up 21-10 with basically 11 minutes to go, is you want to try to see if you can't score, at least try to take about 5 or 6 minutes off of this clock to try to dwindle it down and give less hope and chance for the Eagles to come back.
Right, and yeah, if you just as you said, if you're Mexia, you want to work that clock as best you can. Snaps back, and the ball carrier looks like it's Wiley, and he's going to be met right in the middle.
Yeah, well,
as you know,
go ahead.
I know a lot of everybody's kind of waiting for Wiley to kind of bounce it up, but you know, with the mix-up in players this week with some guys not playing, as they're recovering from injuries and stuff, he's in that spot where he's become really the in between the tackles, the straightforward runner. So he's kind of playing like the fullback tonight. Yeah, his role and expectations have changed, and he's really putting his head down and getting some hard-fought yards there right in the middle of the line. As they get back under center, snaps back. It's going to be a handoff, and it looks like that's Clark again.
Oh, come on.
And oh, wow. And that was a great block that time by –
was that Clark?
It looks like it was Clark on the run. I believe that may have been Wiley on the block. And it looks like they're going to call a penalty against him after he pancakes the defender.
I mean, I'm not understanding that. I mean, that was a legal block. I mean,
you haven't.
Personal foul. Hanson
Okay.
Oh,
We apologize, refs.
so they did. I was thinking they were going
I
to get
know.
Wiley for finishing that block, but
Yeah.
and I was like, he was just locked in and he drove the man into the ground, but it looks like that man had Wiley's face mask pulled when as he blocked him.
Yeah, I think the refs are finally seeing that, Coach Abram, he had a valid point about his players being, done illegally out there.
And so that'll add 15 yards to the end of that run, and it'll be a first down for Mexia. The ball will be spotted out at the 40-yard line as Mexia moves back up to the line of scrimmage. Holman under center. Snap back. And it's going to be a handoff. Oh, no, it's a pass. Oh, and
I don't know how that's not pass interference.
and that was intended for Andrew Sunday, who was
Grabbed by the back
yeah.
of his jersey and slowed down. You could see him starting to fall down, and that white jersey stretched out before the ball even got there. So I don't know what the ref is looking at over here on this side, but there's no calls coming from this side whatsoever.
No, and that time it looked like Sunday went to try to extend his body out to make the catch, and as he tried to extend out, he just kind of got yanked back.
Yeah, even if you don't call pass interference, you've got to call defensive holding on that at least.
But the ball will be considered incomplete in here, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Black Cats. Ball still spotted at the Mexia 40-yard line. Holman under center. Man in motion. Oh, the ball's going to be fumbled. Oh, and Holman picks it up, and he's going to be able to move forward for about a yard.
Fumble recovered by number 2, Trey Holman.
Besides that interception being fumbled by Will Coleman on defense, the ball's been on the ground a couple times, but it's been bouncing Mexia's way so far.
And now just looking out, that's what I was looking for. Mexia's got a new center in right now.
Yeah.
As, we talked about Abraham being injured or, being attended to in the first half. And I just looked. He was out the first couple drives of the second half, but looking over now, he's standing on the sideline. So that means there's a new center that Holman is taking the snap from, and that could just be a simple exchange issue between them, as there hadn't been that much familiarity between them tonight. Snap back to Holman. Handoff to Brian Busby as he comes around the left side, and he picks up about 2 or 3 yards on that run.
The new center is from Mexia is number 68, and I don't know who it is. We don't have a name for him on the roster.
And we want to give those guys some love. Number 68, 57, Caden Grayson. Brandon Ghost. Looks like we had 77 out there just then.
77 is Ivan Marquez.
78, Jonathan Hernandez.
Those big guys do a lot of work and don't get a lot of the recognition, and we want to thank them for their hard work.
Snap back. Sunday will get the punt off,
Good
and
job.
he's run into, and he does exactly what he was supposed to do as the defender ran into him, and he got a good punt away.
Yeah.
As it's going to roll inside the 20.
Now the question is, are they going to call it roughing the kicker or just running into the kicker?
And there was a Canton player injured on the play. They're going to call running into the kicker. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll see if they're going to take that penalty or if they're going to.
Shouldn't they add it to the end of the kick?
I don't know if you do it with that one. I think that's what he's asking. We'll see what Coach Abram decides. They're going to add it to the end of the punt.
That was a great punt by Young Sunday. You see all those helmets coming at you,
Yeah, he was able to get that one off and hold his composure.
Didn't panic. Great job.
And then as he got hit, he went with the contact, and you go down, and that usually draws the flag, and it did. And it looks like they're just going to take. I don't think you add it to the spot. They take the
punt.
They took the punt, which with it landing inside the 20, that's a good punt.
Yeah.
So even if they took the penalty and got the 5 yards, it wouldn't have been enough for a first down.
Right.
So it'll bring out Mexia's defense again. Snap back. It's going to be a handoff this time to Cade, and he's going to be met and run out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Was that,
looks like Nate Burns and Christian Clark on the stop. Oh.
Yeah. Nate Burns did a great job of staying with his blocker and making sure that Cade had to push that to the outside towards the end zone, which not end zone, but out of bounds, which they are playing on the left side, which is a shorter part of the field. What happened? Too many men on the field?
Yes.
Did they get a timeout or did they call the flag?
No, they swat. They
Timeout. Mexia.
They tried to pull a fast one on Mexia. They had a man standing right next to their sideline and their coach over there, and that was the 11th man. And as they came up to the line, he was just standing there like he was all over on the sideline, and they were trying to snap it, and they were going to get a free play as Mexia didn't recognize, the defenders on the field didn't recognize it. The coaching staff did, and you saw Coach Abram sprinting down the sideline to get to the official to call timeout.
I think I saw Coach Simpson also almost lose his headset over here.
I think every one of the coaches that saw it was running and yelling at the officials to get a timeout.
And the question is, the coaches, they're not supposed to be able to go past the 25-yard line, Wallace, but they're standing down there about the 15.
Because normally it's 25 to 25. With the COVID precautions and social distancing, UIL has extended that coaching box all the way from, I believe it's 10 to 10 now.
Okay.
Handoff underneath the Cade, and he's just going to go down as Big Jawan Wright had him in his sights and was ready to put him on the ground. He decided he gave him a little quick slide and onto his bottom to keep from taking the contact.
Yeah, Cade came around that corner, and Jawan shielded and pushed off his blocker, and Cade saw Jawan, and he said, I don't want any part of you, sir. I will stop now.
Snap back to Prox. He looks, surveys the field. He's looking, he throws, and it's going to be caught. And there's going to be a catch by number 4 on that one. There's going to be enough for a first down as he picks up about 14 yards on that pass play.
Yeah, the Eagles, they've been running those short slants and those short outs over there to Perkins. And this pass, which was completed for about 15-yard gain, those have been few and far in between during tonight's game.
And that was Anderson on that catch as I'm looking over. Pickens is limping over on that other side. And there's going to be a pass again. He looks to throw. Oh, and he's hit as he lets it go. And that's going to – oh! And Holman was there looking to get the interception, and Coleman was running with the receiver. And at the last second, Coleman stretched that long arm up there and deflected it, and it knocked it away from Holman, who was back there ready to intercept it as well.
Yeah, you saw a slew of the Black Cats back there who just saw a pick six there in the future, and they're banging their ground because they weren't able to complete that. But that was a great job by the secondary.
It was, because Coleman was right on top of that pass, and Holman read it well as also. And there's going to be an option here. Pass out to optioned out to Cade, and he's going to be blown up over here on the Mexia sideline. And there's some extra
elbows and forearms being thrown on that tackle there. But Coleman was coming around to get that tackle, and I don't know how you're not seeing the hold. I mean,
I think everybody in the stands and sideline was yelling hold.
If y'all are able to go back and watch this game, and y'all continue to hear us talk about how are they not calling these holds, you'll see them clearly on our video. I mean, like you said, we don't like to talk about the refs or negativity on that, but whenever the plays aren't being called.
And here you get 3rd down and 8 for the Eagles. Snap back. And he's going to look to throw. He gets it across.
Are they calling pass interference?
How do you get a penalty on that?
He didn't run through the receiver.
That was Frankie Smith who broke on the ball and just beat the receiver to the spot and almost had an interception. And a flag came out.
I mean, he broke on that ball better than the receiver did, and he didn't make any contact. He wasn't holding or anything. Wow.
Oh.
The crowd here tonight is not happy.
That was very suspect on that call, because Frankie Smith just broke right in front of the receiver, and he made the play on the ball, not the receiver. He had a chance to intercept it, and he just didn't. I'm not sure where you get a pass interference on that. It's going to be a handoff to Cade underneath, and he's going to be chopped down as he moves across midfield and down to about the 45-yard line.
But the thing about that play, Wallace, is you have the head coach over there in your ear as a referee, and sometimes you think you might have missed something and you want to try to make that coach happy, but in critical times like that, you don't go off of what somebody else tells you has happened.
And it's going to be 2nd and 2 here for the Eagles. Snap back. He's looking to pass, and there's going to be Daniels who's chasing, and he's just going to flip it out. And that's a good job by Proxim, just flipping the ball out of bounds. It's going to bring up 3rd and short here for the Eagles with the ball spotted on the Mexia 44-yard line.
Yeah, like I said, when Mexia had the ball last time, it would be good for them to run about 5 or 6 minutes off of the clock. But it looks like the Eagles are doing that for Mexia. They're kind of wearing this clock down here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we're already down to 4:36 left in the fourth quarter. Mejia's still on top, 21-10. Snap back, and it's going to be high, and that ball's on the ground. And no, then it's a flip. And they allowed the flip to go, but most times you see them blow that play dead for the quarterback being in his grasp, because he had already grabbed the quarterback and was driving him backwards.
Yeah, and they put that play, that call into play for the safety of the quarterback, and I'm surprised he wasn't called down in the grass on that.
Yeah, but he was able to pitch it forward to one of his eligible receivers, and they moved the ball forward for a first down. And it'll be Canton taking it. He rolls out to his left, and he looks to throw. Oh, and he's going to complete a pass. And the receiver dives down underneath the defender as Coleman got to be careful, because you don't want to get a targeting penalty now because it's late in the second half. That means if you get ejected, you'd have to miss the first half of the next game. It's going to be a pass out to the left. It's going to be to Pickens, and he's going to be picked up and put down rudely there by Trey Holman.
But that's a good thing, that short pass right now. I know that they're trying to get into the end zone as much as they can, but they're wasting a lot of clock doing so.
Snap back, handoff to Cade up the middle, and he's going to be met there by the Black Cats and taken down. That's going to be enough yardage for a first down. It'll move the sticks and stop the clock for the time being.
And we have a little switch here. Jawan Wright's coming off number 78. Hernandez is coming in for his spot. Let's see if they try to utilize that little switch on defense right now.
Snap back, and there's going to be a quarterback rolls to his left, and he's looking to run, and then he's going to be shoved out of bounds around inside the 10, around the 7-yard line.
I'm going to tell you what, Hernandez came in for Jawan on that play, and he looked pretty good over there on the outside there. If he was just a little bit quicker, he probably could have caught up to the quarterback. But that was a great play by Hernandez, forcing the quarterback to scramble out.
And Mexia makes some switches. They get off. It's going to be snap back, handoff to Cade. He's met in the backfield and slowed up, and then he's going to be brought down. And that looks like that was Jarrell Wiley who broke through the line first to slow the runner down, and then about 3 other Black Hats got there to bring him down right at about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, they were going to place it. Looks like he's
they're going to be at
the
6. Yeah.
But that does give them first and goal with the clock continuing to run here in the third quarter.
Snap back to the quarterback. He's going to look to throw, and that ball's going to be
out of bounds.
Out of bounds. And that's a good job of coverage over there, and I'm trying to look on and see who that is. I believe that might be Frankie Smith.
Yeah, it looks
just
like
playing the bigger receiver to the sideline and using the boundary to his advantage. And even though he was able to go up over the top of Frankie just walled him off and made him come down out of bounds.
Yeah, Frankie did a great job of shielding him and forcing him towards
snap back. Quarterback looks to throw. It's going to be a nice pass, and that's deflected. And that
it looked like it was kind of thrown behind the receiver just a little bit.
I think Nate Burns was able to get his hands on it in the middle of the field, and it deflected behind the receiver. and so he couldn't get there to catch it. And so here is going to bring up third and goal, as Mejia's defense is trying to hold the Eagles out of the end zone.
This is going to make it 3rd and goal. Question is, do they try for a field goal if they don't pick this touchdown up?
Man in motion is going to be snapped. The quarterback rolls to his right. He's going to look. Oh, he's got a man there, and he just flips it forward. And they're going to call it incomplete. As that looks like Xavier Molina was in hot pursuit of the quarterback. And he just had to get it out of his hands as Molina was all right there to try to bring him down for the sack.
Yeah, Molina's got some great closing speed.
It does look like they're going to run the field goal unit out, James. You know, being down 11, 2:30 left in the fourth quarter. They're going to try for a field goal here to cut it to within 8, and then you have to expect they're going to try an onside kick if they're able to make the field goal.
I would think so.
And Mejia's going to use their timeout here.
I wonder if they saw something on film.
Yeah, maybe he saw something and he wants to let them know, hey, they might be setting up for a fake on this one.
Yeah.
So as we take a timeout here on the field, we're going to take a timeout and bring you a word from our sponsors. We'll be back with the end of the fourth quarter here. 2:30 left in the game. Mexia leading Canton 21-10.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
All right, and back here at Eagle Field in Canton, Texas, Mexia on top 21-10 over the Canton Eagles. It's going to bring up 4th and goal here for the Eagles. It looks like they have the field goal unit out, and they're going to be set to kick a field goal, and that pick is up, and it's going to be good. And so Canton will add 3 points to their total, and it'll make the score now Mexia 21, Canton 13. Mexia leading by 8. You know, James, we were just talking about this. They were successful on the field goal attempt, and now they're drilling by 8. It's a one-possession game. You have to expect that they're going to come out and try to kick an onside kick.
Yeah, unless you're trusting your defense to stop Mexia quick, you know, I wouldn't chance it, Wallace. I would come out and try the onside kick, because even if you don't get it and you're able to stop Mexia, you're probably going to wind up with about 1 minute and 30 seconds left with 3 timeouts. So, you know, you don't lose anything right here if you onside kick it and don't return it.
Yeah, because you still have 3 timeouts. You expect you're going to use them on defense anyways.
Yeah.
So it looks like Mexia is expecting the onside kick, as it looks like they have their hands unit out on the field.
And you can't expect it from the Eagles, because this is basically almost how they line up their kickoff anyway when they come out.
And so what you want to do, what you want to also be aware of here if you're Mexia, is them sending a second kicker to try to onside it back the opposite way where you have less players.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm noticing, Wallace, is if he pooches it over here to the right side, I mean, there's nobody over here. So
it looks like
Burns is kind of widening out here.
And they're going to just try to onside it, and it's a great job that time. And I believe that is Trey Holman, who just he looked like the shortstop that he is, and he just turned his hips and threw his hands up and snagged it and went down to the ground.
Because if he would have missed that, Wallace, the kickoff team for the Eagles, and they were in the correct spot to receive that ball if it bounces over Trey's hands. But great job by Trey. He's got great hands, he's got great speed, and he's got great knowledge of the football field.
And here, if you're Mexia, you have to be cognizant of Canton still having all 3 timeouts. So essentially, you want to get a first down.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get a first down, then you can pretty much try to run the clock out after that. And there's going to be a handoff to Wiley, and he's going to push forward for about 3 yards.
Yeah, that was a great first play by the Black Cats, getting that 3 yards, which we see Canton calling a timeout now.
And so they've used one. They'll have 2 timeouts left. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back as Mexia's still on top of Canton 21-13.
If you've not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, If you've strayed away and are lost, if you need a church to call home and family, please don't put it off any longer. Your next breath is never promised. Visit Pastor James Deichler at Forest Glade Baptist Church, 4277 North Highway 14 in Mexia. He preaches straight from the Bible and never waters down the gospel. Church services are Sunday mornings starting at 10:45 a.m. A church that strives to advance the kingdom of God. Come be a part of this family.
All right, and we're back here at Eagle Field. Mexia leading Canton 21-13. Mexia with the ball at the 49-yard line after they were able to recover the onside kick attempt by Canton and move the ball ahead on a run by Wiley. Now you have Holman keeps it, and he's going to move the ball up. He's going to pick up about a yard on that carry.
I don't, Wallace, there's not much that disagree with the Black Cats. But we'll take a quick break right quick with our sponsors, and we'll continue that conversation when we return.
And the fourth quarter with 40 seconds to go.
Mexia Insurance Services proudly supports Mexia ISD, the Mexia Black Cats, and the Mexia Lady Cats. Located at 811 Milam Street and serving the Tri-County area insurance needs for over 30 years with coverages for auto, home, business, life, health, and renters as well as bonds. Call today for a free quote and a review of your current coverage. 254-562-3894. Go Cats!
All right, and we're back with 2:12 left in the fourth quarter. Mexia still leading by 8. And Mexia with the ball. It's going to be third and about 6 here on here for Mexia, and they've caused Canton to use 2 timeouts. They still have a timeout left. There's going to be a handoff underneath to Jabron Busby, and he's just going to push forward out to about the 45-yard line. He moves it down into Canton territory. He's about a yard short here.
And every one of those yards on that run that time, Wallace, was earned by Jabron because, he shielded off about 5 tackles just to pick up the 7 yards.
So here you're in fourth and 1. Essentially now Canton just burned their last time out.
Yeah.
So if you're the Black Cats, you're on in Canton territory. So if you punt, you can maybe try to pin them deep, but
if you pick up the first down, the game's
over. So if you're going 4th and 1, you send the offense back out and try to give that ball to Wiley or one of those other runners and try to go get 1 yard and move the sticks.
But yet the only thing that might change their mind on that, Wallace, is the new center that is in the ballgame.
Yeah, and we watched them all season, and when you're trying to create an atmosphere and for your program, this might be one of those times where you say, hey, I'm putting it in y'all's hands. Guys up front, you go beat the man in front of you. Runners, go get this yard for us and let's win this game.
And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. So it's up to the Black Cats now.
Snap back to Holman. It's going to be a handoff up the middle and that's going to be Jarrell Wiley, who just blasts forward and picks up that first down, which will essentially end the game with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Like you said earlier, Wallace, in the situation that Black Cats are in with the new quarterback, the running backs, they're having a different responsibility this game. And we haven't seen Jarrell Wiley break for a long run, but yet he's been busting it up the middle and kind of weakening the inside of that Eagles defensive line. And here at the end of the game, he had the important run of getting the first down and basically sealing this game for the Black Cats.
So, Mexia, you can expect a few more runs from him. It's going to be a handoff again around the left side.
Looked like Christian Clark on the carry.
And that was
time.
Jabron Busby on the carry.
they get running in there, and sometimes that 7 looks like a 3.
Yeah, and he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but, even though he doesn't get yards, that run just keeps the clock moving.
Yeah.
And we're down to 1 minute left in the fourth quarter.
I know the score isn't as high as we kind of predicted, Wallace, but the Black Cats offense did a great job of eating clock up. The defense did a great job of making sure that the Eagles offense had long drives and ate the clock up here in the second half.
Yeah, and, with a new quarterback and a couple other pieces mixed in there, and they're just going to snap it and take a knee. As Canton won't be able to stop the clock again. Looking at the play clock, looking at the game clock, Mexia won't have to snap the ball again. They'll end up coming out with a victory in this one, 21-13. Just as we were saying, Mexia with a couple pieces mixed in there and having to make some substitutions due to some guys sitting out after injuries last week. They came out and they played solid offensively, and they did what they needed to do to come out victorious in this game. And so Mexia moves to 4-0 in district. They will be the district champions, and they will go into the playoffs as the top seed out of District 7 of 4A Division II. We'll have to check scores and everything else to know exactly who we will be facing next week. And also, we'll wait to hear where we will be playing the playoff game on next week. And as soon as we know, we'll try to bring that to you. But just going over some things as we've come to the end of the game. Second half scoring, or second half stats here for Canton. Chance Prox, the quarterback number 2, had a total of 6 rushes for negative 21 yards. And then we had number 41, Chris Cade, who had a total of 28 carries for 147 yards. And then receiving, you had number 5, who had 3 receptions for 53 yards. Number 12 had 9 receptions for 56 yards. Number 14 had 1 reception for 6 yards. 41 had 1 reception for 3 yards. And then we had another reception for 10 yards by someone we didn't get the number down. Canton punted the ball 4 times for a net punt yardage of 148 yards. And Canton also had 7 penalties for 60 yards. On the game, Mexia, rushing yard-wise, you had Trey Holman with 6 rushes for 10 yards. Christian Clark with 6 rushes for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jarrell Wiley, 9 rushes for 34 yards. BJ Sunday ended with 1 rush for 25 yards. Jabron Busby, I believe, had a couple rushes. We don't have his accurate total. And then receiving yard-wise, we had John Luna with 1 reception for 14 yards and 1 reception for Christian Clark for 6 yards. Mexia punted the ball 5 times for a total of 146 yards and had 3 penalties for 20 yards. Great job by the Black Cats. They were able to come out and fight hard in a game where they were missing some pieces, but they never let that get to them. They came out defensively. They played well.
Yeah, it was a total team effort tonight, Wallace. When you come in with a backup quarterback, and then in the second half you have to come out with a backup center. Tonight it was a great team effort, and I would like to give a shout out to the defense tonight. It looked like that Canton was going to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the defense, even though they looked a little iffy to begin, they came together and as a team defense made sure that they brought this win home and made sure that the Black Cats are going home back to Mexia undefeated in district play 4-0. And after the non-district play, I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't give Mexia one chance.
They end their season with regular season 5-4, and we talked much throughout the season, even with Coach Abram, about how we broke the season down into 3 parts. And as you said, after non-district, they ended non-district after a tough non-district schedule, 1-4, and then they come into district and they've rattled out 4 straight wins to move up to 5-4, and now you move into that third phase of your season, which is the playoffs, and they'll be looking to get set for their opening round matchup against whomever it will be that comes out of our opposing district. As right now, I believe there's a possibility of 3 different teams, depending on how tonight's results end up over in that district. So we're sure here pretty soon we'll know who we'll face next week, and the coaches will get on trying to get a location for that game. But all we can say is great job by the Black Cats. You know, they fought and fought and fought, and they were able to come out victorious, you know, to come back from some of the things that they faced this year and to just continue to persist and to buy in. And Coach Abram and his staff have done a great job with these young men and getting them to be comfortable and fight and play for each other. And to the fact that now, you know, they went from a lot of people maybe not having as much faith in them and doubting them to being district champs here in 2020. So as we always say, we want to thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, we apologize for the streaming and service interruptions as we were dealing with some issues over in this area with reception and internet service. If you weren't able to see it all in its entirety live streamed, we do believe that once it is uploaded that the recording feed will play in full. We want to thank you for tuning in. We will be back next week to bring you coverage of Mejia's first round matchup against whomever it may be. We thank you all for tuning in. Share. Let someone know that they can watch the game on Mejia Sports Network. Go in and subscribe to the channel, and we will bring you live Mejia footage all season, all year. We thank you again. We want to say a big thank you to our sponsors. We want to say a big thank you to Freddie Greer and Greer Time Media for for being the service that provides this footage and feed to you all. And as we always close it out, we want to say go Black Cats. Great job this season. Your 2020 District 7 4A